The Voter Services Committee is delighted to share this presentation with you. We hope you will find it informative and maybe a little enlightening. The Elections Office works very hard to ensure that every vote is counted. Let us share with you what happens to your ballot in Tuolumne County. First, you must register to vote. You will not get a ballot if you are not registered. You can register to vote in person at the local elections office, online, or at any of the registration tables that appear frequently throughout the county. You are eligible to vote if you are a U.S. citizen living in California, at least 18 years old, not currently serving a state or federal prison term for the conviction of a felony, not currently found incompetent to vote by a court, and yes, if you are homeless, you can vote.
VBM, or vote by mail ballots, will be mailed to all registered voters 28 days before Election Day. There are 3 ways to vote. Vote by mail. You can mail your ballot as soon as you receive it. No postage necessary. Drop box. You can drop off your ballot in any secure ballot drop box as soon as you receive it. No postage necessary. Vote center. You can go to any vote center in the county to vote in person. Vote centers are located throughout the county in handicap accessible facilities with parking. Ballots can also be filled out in person at the elections office and at any vote center in the county. At every vote center, you can vote, register and vote the same day, drop off your ballot, vote with an accessible voting machine, get help, and voting materials in multiple languages.
Mail-in ballots will be delivered to the elections office by the United States Postal Service. Ballots in the drop-off boxes will be picked up regularly by officials from the elections office. Volunteers who are sworn in by the county elections officer and/or elections office personnel will work in pairs to pick up ballots and deliver them to the elections office. Ballots are never left unattended, and always at least 2 people are watching the ballots. Ballots are counted by both officials when they are removed from the drop box. The count is recorded and signed by both volunteers. At least 2 officials in the elections office will verify that count upon arrival and sign the count sheet certifying the count. The numbers must match. Ballots from the vote centers follow the same procedure.
Signature check. All voters must sign their ballot envelopes. All ballot signatures are matched by computer with signatures from DMV and/or signatures from voter registration form. If signatures do not match, the ballot is pulled. If a voter has already voted, the computer will flag the ballot and the ballot is pulled. Questionable ballots are referred to the district attorney's office.
Processing of ballots. Once signatures have been verified, ballots are ready to be opened and processed. Ballot envelopes are opened by machine, but ballots are removed by hand. The ballot envelopes are placed with the name address sides facing down, and ballots are removed from the envelope and placed aside, as you can see in the slide. All empty ballots are then removed, all empty envelopes are then removed from the site before the ballots are checked. Sworn volunteers and elections office employees will review the ballots to check for issues which could cause the vote scanning machine to reject the ballot and the vote not counted. Common problems are food spills on ballots, ripped or cut ballots, signatures, phone numbers, or notes on ballots, and overvoting. Ballots with these issues must be duplicated.
Duplicate ballots. Ballots that have been spoiled in some way will be duplicated. In California, and especially in Tuolumne County, every vote is counted. Volunteers work in pairs to create a duplicate ballot. One creates the dupe, the other checks the dupe. Both sign and date both ballots. The duplicate ballot is added to the ballots to be counted. The spoiled ballot is saved for future verification if necessary.
Processed ballots are ready to be scanned. Ballots will be scanned in batches of 50 to 100. Scanned ballot batches will be numbered and stored for future verification if necessary. Some of these batches will be used in the certification procedure after the election. This process continues throughout the 28 days of the election.
Throughout all steps in the process, ballots are never left unattended. At least 2 people are with the ballots at all times. Ballots are locked in an alarmed room when work is completed for the day. On election day, the polls close at 8 p.m. and anyone in line to vote at 8 p.m. is allowed to stay to vote. Although the polls close at 8 p.m. on election day, the election office does not close until all ballots from vote centers and drop boxes have been turned in.
At 8 p.m. on election night, the elections officer rings the bell and the polls are closed. At 8:01 on election night, the registrar of voters will run the first preliminary vote count. This will show the ballot results for the ballots received and scanned up to that point. It is illegal to run a vote scan before that time. Ballots will be received and counted from the United States Postal Service for 3 days after the election. However, in 2020, the California State Legislature passed a bill allowing ballots to be received up to 17 days after Election Day because of the pandemic. All ballots, however, must be postmarked by 8 p.m. on Election Day.
A 1% manual tally is required by the state. This must be done before the election results can be verified. Election officials manually tally all the ballots in 1% of the district or batches. Batches or precincts are selected at random by the election officials. Deceased voters. The obituaries are checked daily. Deceased voters are removed from the voting register. If a citizen dies after they have voted, but before the ballot arrived at the elections office, their vote is counted.
What if someone votes twice? Voting twice is illegal under California and federal law, punishable by between 16 months to 3 years in prison under California law and a maximum of 5 years under federal law. If a ballot is flagged at the signature check, it is removed. If the voter has previously voted, only the first ballot is counted. The elections office will do a preliminary investigation. If the preliminary investigation does not resolve the issue, the ballot will be sent to the district attorney's office for future investigation. Most frequently, if someone has voted twice, it is very often a senior, someone who has forgotten that they had previously voted.
What if a voter has moved? If a voter has moved and registered to vote at their new address, the ballot will be mailed to their new address only. If they have not registered, their ballot will go to their old address. Ballots will not be forwarded.
Can I vote in 2 counties? No. The signature check program is synced with the entire state of California. If a voter tries to vote in more than one location, the ballot will be flagged as having already voted. For more information, you can visit the California Secretary of State website, the League of Women Voters of California website, or the League of Women Voters of the Mother Lode website. Thank you very much.